Hi everybody, it's Malcolm here in the garden. I've had a migraine this week and I'm still getting over it, so I'm staying away from computer screens, excuse me, which means normally I'd record a video, edit it and then upload it, but that would mean spending quite a lot of time in front of my computer screen. So I've decided instead just to record a video live and put it up there and let you know what's going on this Sunday in the Watford church. We've been going through the Psalms of Ascent and really enjoying the challenges and the encouragements that come from looking at what happens when you're on a pilgrimage with God. And to this coming Sunday, we're up to Psalm 125. What I'd like to do is read it for you, ask you what you think, and then get your feedback with ideas. So Psalm 125 reads this way: A song of ascents. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken, but endures forever. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people, both now and forevermore. The scepter of the wicked will not remain over the land allotted to the righteous, for then the righteous might use their hands to do evil. Lord, do good to those who are good, to those who are upright in heart. But those who turn to crooked ways, the Lord will banish with the evildoers. And that's this last phrase at the end: peace. Peace be on Israel. So that's Psalm 125, just 5 short verses, but there's a lot packed in here. And the basic idea this Sunday is we're going to be unpacking what it means to trust the Lord. What does it mean? So we'll look at the problems. We know some of the problems that the psalmist had. We know that he appears to be surrounded by people opposing him. That must be why he's talking about how the Lord surrounds his people as a protection, because presumably outside of that are the enemies. We know that the righteous and the unrighteous are mixed in together. That's why he's talking about how the righteous might use their hands to do evil. Why? Because the wicked are in the land. They may not remain, which we'll talk about, but they are in it. There's a prayer here near the end, verse 4, Lord, do good to those who are good. So there's a prayer, there's a plea. Those who turn to crooked ways, so there are people around the psalmist who have crooked ways. They'll be banished with the evildoers. So we see a context of challenges, of things that are problematic for the psalmist. There are evildoers, those with crooked ways. There are those who are not upright in heart. There are those who might tempt the righteous to put their hands to something that's evil. There's the wicked are in the land, and they're being there's a mixture of God's people and the wicked all together mixed in, and that's uncomfortable. And then there's a surrounding that's going on. And so the psalmist, though, it's interesting, it begins with trust and then talks more about the problems. And on Sunday, what we're going to do is we look at the issues and challenges they had and go back to the solution. Because the solution in the end is to trust the Lord. Then these people will be like Mount Zion, a mountain. I can't imagine a mountain being shaken. Of course, sometimes they are with earthquakes, but they're just so huge, solid, and that's what it's like. For those who are trusting in God, there's a solidity, an ability to endure like a mountain, will not be shaken, but endure forever. So my question, a couple of questions for us to be thinking about. If you'd like to come and attend on Sunday, when I say come, I mean, like online, or if you've got some ideas you'd like to feed back to me to help me with preparation for my sermon. I've got an outline and quite a lot of material, but I'd love to know what other people think. This definitely helps my sermons to get other people's ideas. I'd like to know what you think the problems might be that they've got here. It does describe them in general terms. What do you think? Oh, and more specifically, how might we look at the problems they had and interpret them as similar things, parallels for you and me today, especially during this time of COVID-19 lockdown crisis. What might be some parallels between what they went through and what we're going through? I'd be really interested to know what you see there as the parallels. Perhaps something from your own life you could share, or just generally as our situation. That's one thing. And I think the second thing would be, what does it mean to you that you're surrounded by the Lord? As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people. What does it mean to be surrounded by the Lord? What kind of comfort does that bring you? What kind of feelings? What kind of response in your own heart, your own mind, your spirit does that bring to you? And finally, and most importantly of all probably, what does it really mean to trust the Lord? Maybe this psalm doesn't exactly answer that in detail. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion. So it's describing the consequences of trusting the Lord. So what does it mean? Because there's plenty of other teaching in Scripture to give us ideas of that. And the challenges for Sunday, one of them for me is to pick out just one or two, because we could do so much. But to you, what does it mean actively to trust the Lord? In other words, not just an intellectual trust, not just a theoretical trust, but a real trust. How, in other words, I suppose, how do we know we're living and trusting the Lord by the way that we live? How do we demonstrate? Not for the sake of demonstrating it, but how do we know in ourselves that we really are trusting in the Lord? What does that mean? Not as a religious concept, but as a relational concept, a relationship, not concept, a relational reality. Yes, what's the relational reality of living as one who trusts in the Lord in the 21st century, day of recording, the 20-something of May on Thursday afternoon here in 2020. So what does that mean to you? I'd really like to know. And I can see some people commenting here and waving, so thank you for doing that. I put this up live not expecting any instant feedback, so I'm grateful. I just wanted it to go up there ready for later on. But thank you for Joe, thank you Julian and others who've been commenting and watching. So I'd be very grateful if you could leave comments here or anywhere you see this recording to let me know what you think about Psalm 125. So if you want to come and be with us on Sunday, drop me a line. We're not posting the links online publicly because they can be hacked then. But anybody who sends me a message, I will send you the link and you'd be welcome to join the rest of the Watford church. Well, I hope you have a lovely rest of Thursday as it is. Enjoy if you have the sunshine where you are like I do here. I hope you can enjoy it. And I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Take care and God bless you.